To gain access to your cargo space that ranges between 21.9 and 56.3 cubic feet, you can use the button on the power tailgate, the button on the remote, and there's also a button on the interior. Right here, we have the release to lower our seats. You can see right there, one on each side, and that will maximize your cargo space. The cargo cover is removable if you want to do that, or you can use that to conceal away whatever you need to haul back here. We have a 12-volt power outlet, and something that I know a lot of people want, here it is, the spare tire. No tire repair kit where this is concerned. And one thing that makes it easy, I didn't do this earlier in the video, but if you don't want the seat belt to get caught with the seat back when the seats are lowered, there's a little cutout right there where you can put the seat belt to get it out of the way. That's going to be on both sides. And let's take a look into the back seat and see what your rear seat passengers will find. Plenty of room with the armrest right here, nice and comfortable. And we'll find the panoramic sunroof. I mentioned that earlier in the video. Now there is a shade that can be drawn forward if there's too much sun coming in or whatever the situation is. You can leave that open or close it. The front portion will tilt and slide open. And there is a reasonable amount of space back here in the back seat area. Now it depends on where the front seats are located or as far as their position goes, but plenty of space. We have storage with the rear seat pockets. You have the door bins right there, and our rear air conditioning vents are going to be here too. You'll also find the fold-down armrest with the cup holders built in. You have to open the cup holders just like that. But one thing I know a lot of people like to ask about, can you recline the rear seats? Well, you can't adjust it, that's for sure. But there is a little bit of recline built into these seats. Everything does seem to be nice and comfortable back here, even though I'm not back here for long. Here is the latch system. I like that you don't have to remove a cover and keep up with that. You can see that the cover gets out of the way. There's where you're going to anchor the child safety seats, and then you just push on that area when you want to put the cover back in place. The sticker price is $56,685. That may seem like a pretty high price, but for a Mercedes Benz, I think that's very reasonable, and you're going to get a lot of technology and great features for that price. Let's take a look at what else you get beyond what I've already shown you. You're going to find all of your controls for managing the seat position. You have the power seats for the driver and the passenger side has seat memory. So that means you're going to also have that on the driver's side. A little bit more space with the armrest and the door bin, and I don't know, there we go, it is unlocked. I wanted to make sure of that before I showed it to you, but you can see that you have the glove box right there, plenty of space within. The seats themselves are very comfortable. Over here on the driver's side, we're going to have the same basic setup as far as the seat controls being right here. It's in the shape of a seat, in case you didn't notice that, and then everything for the seat memory, heated seats. You're going to have all of that here as well. You can see all of your controls, everything for your side view mirrors. In fact, there's the button you can push if you want to fold the mirrors in from the driver's seat. That is here. And everything for your lock and unlock, all that good stuff is here. Windows, you can lock the windows if you want to. All of your controls for the headlights, taillights, all of that's going to be right there. And your power parking brake is located right here. Here is the upper console, just to show you some of the controls that are there. Everything for the sunroof is here as far as opening the sunroof itself and managing the shade. There's your power shade that I mentioned earlier in the video. The steering wheel is nice and comfortable. You have your shifter paddles right here for working your way back and forth through the 9-speed automatic transmission if you want to. Here is your shifter. Very easy to deal with as far as that goes. When you want to go back into park, we push the button right there. And over on the left-hand side, that pesky control that so many people have a hard time figuring out, the turn signal lever, or turn signal stalk as it's often referred to as, that allows you to let people around you know what you're doing. It corresponds to those blinking arrows out there and your turn signal indicators that are on the exterior of your vehicle. I know that's news for a lot of people, but it does work and it's not hard to use. And it's also not hard to use it for its other purpose, which is to control your front and rear window wipers. You have all your controls on the steering wheel. As far as your steering wheel mounted controls here, you can control what you see on the center screen right here. If we want to work our way around with that, we can do that right here. It's pretty easy to deal with. If we want to go back, we can do that. Now you can do the same thing here on the driver's display that has a nice modern look to it, but if you want to change that, here's how you do it. There's a few different options here. If you want to have the sport look, you can do that. We can go over here, we can go to classic. You can also bring up navigation. You can bring up assistance. Whatever it is you want, you can do that. We can go to off-road. I don't know how many people take their GLC off-road, but you can for some light off-roading. Just depends on what you need to do. A very nice modern look with everything that we have here as far as the overall layout goes, the design of the dash area. Here is your button to turn the engine on and off. If you want to turn the auto stop start on or off, depending on your personal preference, there's the button right there, conveniently located. And our touch screen. You also have the MBUX, or Mercedes Benz User Experience, that actually helps in a lot of ways. Practically endless commands of what you can ask and deal with as far as that goes. Personally, I do prefer physical controls for the air conditioning. You can see that that's all built into the screen right here. However, with the MBUX, you can use voice commands to change that. Let's give a quick demonstration of that. Hey, Mercedes.
How can I help?
I'm hot.
Okay, I'll reduce the temperature to 61 degrees.
And hopefully that wasn't too loud for you. That was a bit loud. I apologize for that if it was too loud. Hopefully you weren't wearing earphones or earbuds, whatever the case is. Everything here is very easy to deal with. I like that. Wireless capabilities for pairing your smartphone. You've got radio, media, all of that. If you want to see your MB apps, you can come right here, and then we can obviously hit the X to go back out of that. Info, depending on what you want to know about the vehicle. I love the graphics that are here. Mercedes-Benz does a great job with that. Whether you want to know what's going on with the vehicle, if I hit the gas pedal, you can see the percentage that I'm using. The same with the brake right there. I've got the brake pressed all the way down. You can see it's at 100%. You can also go right here to engine and see what's going on where that's concerned. Pretty cool how you have the live telemetry basically here on the screen. Now we can go back and we can go here to comfort, and you can see what all is here. I'm not going to go through everything, but just to show you some of the features and functionality. Now, you do have ambient lighting here, and there are a total of 64 different colors. You can see it right there. It says 64. You can adjust the brightness. You can adjust the effects. Whatever it is you want to do, you can come in here and make changes to that. You have your monochrome and multicolor. It just depends on your preference where that is concerned. We'll go back out one more time here. You can see what else is here. There's Apple CarPlay. You can go into your settings. You've got your browser right there. You also have Android Auto. So for those of you that are saying, wait a minute, I saw Apple CarPlay but not Android Auto. There it is. You know that it's here. So for those that wanted to know. Now, we can push the button right here and see our rear view camera. And right here where you see the vehicle, you can go right there. And a lot going on here. Just so you can see, I'm not going to go into everything, but you can see what's going on. Hopefully you never need tow-away alarm, but there it is if you want to turn that on or turn it off, whatever the case is, interior protection. You can see all of the different options that are going to be here as far as that goes. It's pretty easy to figure out, pretty easy to deal with. We also have our cup holders right here, USB connectivity, a couple of options where that is concerned. You also have your wireless charging pad located right here, and you can conceal all of that away if you want to. The Bombay doors right here open up. Another USB option is there in the interior of the center console that actually offers a reasonable amount of space. Let me take that little tray out of there so I can show you that it's actually a lot deeper than it may look. One more important detail if you want to go to the climate menu and see what is there. If you want to sync both sides together, you can do that. You also have a heated steering wheel, as you can see right here. Don't quite need that just yet here in Northwest Louisiana. It's still a little bit on the warm side, but it's getting better. Highs are only in the high 80s now, as opposed to being around 100 degrees. It does make a difference. You also have your air quality details right here. There's a lot going on. And while it may look complicated if you're not used to this kind of technology, it's very easy to learn and use. One more thing I wanted to show you real quick before we hit the road for our test drive, because I know some people might have a question about this. What about your driving modes? Now you're going to go into settings, and then you need to come down here to dynamic select. I already have that selected. It's highlighted in red, as you can see, and you have several different options where that's concerned, as you can see, depending on what you want to do. If you want to go to sport mode with drive, we can do that. Depending on what you want to do with steering, we can go to sport or comfort. And you can see what else we have going on here. You can just set everything up as you want. If you want the sport sound, you can do that. It's easy to deal with. Like I said, I like to call it the hunt and peck method that makes it simple to figure these things out.